Hi, my name is Shaylee Schropp, and I'm here with Mr. Justin Shrake for a Reach a Student interview. So, how long have you been working at the school, and what grades have you taught?
I've been at Windermere Prep for 6 years. This is my 6th year. And I have taught 2nd grade and 4th grade.
Wow. Please share with us a story or stories of something that you went through in elementary, middle, or high school, and maybe even college, that you think students can get insight from.
First story that comes to my mind is my high school history teacher, Mr. Burton, if you're out there still. You're really old now. He was an extremely difficult teacher. He had really high expectations. He was kind of an old curmudgeon. He just work. And his one big thing was how to write the perfect essay. And, you know, when you're in high school, you don't always see what the plan is. But he made us every week, we had to do an essay, and it had to be perfectly cited, it had to be well written, it had to follow his formula for a perfect essay. And after a whole year of that, it was torture, and he drove us all crazy, and some of our hair went gray. But by the end of it, when we went off to college, we could write this essay, and this essay is basically what got me through college. Using the same formula for an essay, knowing how to write Mr. Burton's perfect essay is what got me to graduate college, because teachers would get it, they would read it, and it was what teachers wanted to see, because he'd basically written it for himself.
Wow. He seems like an interesting teacher.
He was. He even was, I have to say this, I invited him to my wedding, even though he was scary, and because he actually knew is another kind of thing.
Yeah.
That has to do with, I used to tell my 2nd graders this. My wife and I were in 1st, 2nd grade together in the same class. Like, we were young, so that's one thing to do, is be nice to everyone in school, because one day you might end up married to one of them, and you want to make sure that you were always nice to them so they don't have anything to hold against you.
In lower school, kids are encouraged to do AR. What is like a good points level that you think could lead them to success?
There isn't really like a single point level, I would say. What teachers are always looking for is growth. So we use the STAR test with AR, and you can take a lot of tests with that to try to figure out exactly where their reading level might be on a grade range. But it doesn't matter where they are. I could have a 4th grader who reads at a STAR level of a 6th grader, but what I want to see is by the end of the year he's reading above that 6th grade level, so he just continues to grow from where he starts the school year at. It's not so much they need to be here to pass the grade. It's that they need to show growth, and they have to keep learning and trying to improve themselves.
Yeah. Did you know that all public schools require their 4th graders to know their times table facts? It is actually on the supply list given to each parent. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that is great. I think that with things like multiplication facts, addition facts, subtraction facts, we're doing division facts right now at this current time, and all of that stuff there's 100 different ways to learn them. You can have an app on your iPad, you can play a game, you can do flashcards, there's websites you can go to, but it really all comes down to just memorizing your multiplication facts and spending time trying to know them. And what teachers don't like to do is use class time to have kids memorize things, because they have to sit there and just go through them, and it's something you can do. Like, I tell my students to take their flashcards, because I like flashcards, to put flashcards in the back seat of the car. So when they get picked up from school, they can practice their flashcards on the way home. Take flashcards and put them next to the remote control in their living room. So in between, if there's a commercial, they can go through their flashcards quick, or if it's a show they're not really into, maybe they'll do it. I tell my students to put flashcards in the bathroom. So if they're ever in the bathroom for any particular reason, they have flashcards there, and you're not doing anything else, so you might as well study your flashcards. And just that's what it takes. It's that memorization. And once they have those down, then you can explore all the fun stuff with math and do so much more, and everything comes so much, it's just easier to learn the harder concepts once you have those basics down.
Yeah. Since you're a 4th grade teacher, are there any amazing tips that you think students in lower school should follow to prepare themselves for success?
The biggest thing I would say is it all comes down to effort. It all comes down to how hard you try. One thing, and I think older kids, I understand this a little bit more, but when you're younger, you kind of look at, oh, she's the smart one in the class, everything's so easy for her, or everything's so easy for him, he just gets it. And it's really not true. It's the kids that really do well work really hard, and they spend time with their math facts. They spend time reading rather than watching TV. They spend time with their parents, talking and letting their parents quiz them, and it all helps, and it all comes down to effort. And if you are a kid who things come very easy for you, at some point in school, the problem is it won't be easy anymore.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to work hard and push yourself and give that extra effort, then your brain gets all scrambled, and it's really hard to deal with because you don't know how to apply yourself. So if you learn how at a young age, especially like 2nd grade and 4th grade, if you learn how to get those habits, because that's what lower school is all about. It's getting the right habits. And if you have those habits, you're going to be successful for school and for life and for everything beyond that, because you have the right habits in place. And if you have the wrong habits, the wrong thing happens. So it's
Wow, that's really interesting. Thank you guys for joining us in this interview of Mr. Justin Shrake. Good night.